Hi everyone, Crafty Carrie here with 2017 Stitchy Plans. I can't believe 2017 is already going to be here. My son will be a year old here soon, and I can't believe that this entire year has gone by. Whether it's for him or for stitching, the fact that I haven't worked is making it harder to believe that this year is almost over. Because working not only, paid some bills or gave us extra money to spend. Sorry, itchy nose. It really did make each day kind of go by. But I look around going, what did I do? But here we are. 2017 is coming up. I have plans. Here's my Stitchy book. Just a composition notebook that I put some old stickers on that I found. Which I have had my magazine voting in here. I will tell you what wins later on. I might keep it up later now, past January. Excuse me. Because I'm looking at the ones that are in the lead. There's two or three. One of them will take a massive amount of colors, which will take some thread, which, excuse me, I don't have the extra money at this moment to start it right away in January, but my promise was to start it sometime next year. So I will need time to purchase those. So I have plans to start smaller projects first. But I did make just a little penciled calendar of plans, and this is a loose rotation. I have tried to be saying charted several times today. We'll see if I can stop, because it doesn't work for everything. Let's see here. It's like here's January, and I said Pinocchio 2 weeks. Magazine 1 week, and like I have this, you'll see this Schoolhouse 5 days, and music 2. Excuse me. So those are like kind of my original penciled in plans here of what I want to accomplish for the year in the summer, and these aren't filled out as much on here because it's the end of the year. I'm not going to plan out everything that far in advance, because then there will be no room for gifts if I decide to do anything, or birthdays, or a last minute, I really need to do this kind of thing. So that's where this started, and it really did help. Let me show you what else I did. I started coughing all of a sudden. Sorry. It's my monthly tracker for cross stitch. Again, I highlight the weekends. Just helps break up the month. But I've also started to highlight the days of things that are related to a start or a sal or a challenge, so I can. I was going to highlight that, but my markers are in the other room. And I really like this idea so far, because I think instead of me having to go back and forth to Facebook constantly, or write down every sal on a piece of paper, if I have it like this, if it's highlighted and I go, wait a minute, what? And I'll go look it up that way. It'll just kind of be a trigger. So let's start with that. Pinocchio is the utmost priority for this year. And I haven't worked on him yet in December, which is pretty sad, because here we are. Today's what, the 20th? Yeah, today's the 20th. And I haven't worked on him yet. And we only have, what, 10 more days, 11 more days of the rest of the year. And I haven't worked on it. And I need 2 weeks to do a section. But I did tell myself I would have more time in January, February to catch up. So again, only half done, but half done. But I was going to say charted. I have scheduled 2 weeks of every month to get him complete. And I think parts of it will go faster than others. I might have to skip up here and do these two for December, January, just to get that caught up. But we'll see. Because I want to get him into the state fair. And that also coincides with a SAL. So I get my other calendar out. See, I have another one of these calendars. Which these are really nice. I know you can get calendars anywhere, but these have these little motifs up at the top, little clip art. Find another one, sorry. Okay, there's one I wrote for November. These come from a website, or from a blog, I believe. Her name's Eric. It's called Erica May Designs. Confessions of a Homeschooler.com. And really neat because there are about 2 motifs for every month that you can print out. So you can have one that has like a Christmas tree on it, or you can have one that has a Santa on it. So you don't have to have like the school supply. You don't have to have the one that has school supplies on it. If you want something that has like an autumn scene on it instead, that works. But I like it because you get to fill in the month, so I don't have to use it right away. And I think it uses the space well. Moving on. So Pinocchio will fit in with a SAL that starts for cross stitches fun. I believe is a Stitch Watts challenge. Yellow Brick Road. Anything that you can tie to that, whether it's Wizard of Oz, yellow, bricks, road. I think it's mostly tied to road. So Pinocchio has a road through it. Next will be, it starts in December, but it goes all the way through January. Is a SAL through Stitch Mania. The 12 Days of Christmas. Starts on Christmas Day. And so I'm doing, and you can tie anything to that goes for the lyrics of the day. So, partridge in a pear tree, you can stitch anything with a bird on it. Anything with a pear, or, hey, even the Partridge Family works. Or the number 1. So there's a lot you can do with that. But I decided I'm going to do ornaments. I've wanted to do ornaments out of this book for a while. The mini cross-stitch ornaments from Leisure Arts. I can't show you inside the book because it's just the patterns. But there's the Partridge in a Pear Tree. It's really, really tiny as I'm stitching it on 18 count. Where's Partridge here? Because her stitch count is quite small, and I thought it was right here. There it is. Stitch count is 18 by 34, but I want to stitch it on 18 to make it smaller because I'm going to be stitching or sewing diamond-shaped pillow ornaments for next year, and I thought I want them all to be the same. I didn't want to stitch it too big, and I can't do these on plastic canvas because a lot of them do have fractional stitches. Not a lot, but enough that if you change it, it doesn't look right. So 18 count, and I've just gridded the area that the ornament's going to be stitching. The ornament will have to go in the center of each of these because if I stitch partridge here, I'm going to be diamond shaped cut here. But I've gridded all of that. So these should all fit on this one piece of 18 count. And those are going to be started the 12 days of Christmas, all the way through January 5th. Now that I think about it, the plan might be to finish one of these every month. Not fully finish, but get the stitching done. And then I can complete them all in the beginning of December. But that takes me through the first 5 days. There's also New Year, New Start, like something you have never done before, whether it's stitching on hand-dyed fabric, hand-dyed floss, new designer, anything that's new to you. Oh, new stitches. So like maybe twisted band sampler that would have a bunch of crazy stitches on it. But I've never stitched from Little House Needleworks. So Peter is going to be that one. And it's really small, so it will be done this year. It will be done. I just thought of what I don't want the end of my year looking like, because I have UFOs right now. I have two. Technically two, pretty much three. And so my goal is Operation No UFOs. So I intend not to start something that I can't finish or that I don't plan on working on throughout the year. Then there's a full coverage start, Sal, whatever, on Stitch Mania, and that starts on the 5th. And I'm doing a Haid. I'm doing a Haid. I'm doing a Haid. No, it is, but it's teeny tiny. It's the furry animals. This will be my 3rd attempt to do furry animals. This was a freebie, but it no longer is available, so I apologize. But I wanted it because it originally was charted 25 count, which would be about 3 by 5. So this is going to be a little bit bigger. I thought I did the measurements of how big it was going to be. Oh, a little over 3.5 inches by 5.5 inches. But I really like that. I really want to start this again. I think that's what keeps bringing me back. But this time, instead of 25 count, I'll be doing it on 22 count. So, I've gridded just the stitch area on there, which is a lot of fun, actually, just because now I feel once I start, I will be able to cross country, because it's just 22 count heart hanger, and it will be 1/1. Will I get that finished this year, or next year? That will be hard to say, but it's really small. I think if I sit down with it, I can get a good amount done on it. I just can't say that yet, for sure. Then there is a Sing a Sal on the 9th through cross stitch finish line. And that is going to be my teacher, one of my teacher gifts. And the school's music teacher this year. And I would show you a picture, but the pictures are awful. Or just not easy seen. So this is what it is. And I just need to finish that. Like, that will be like an hour or two's worth of work. Seriously. But there is a lot more actual finishing that needs to be done. These all have to be finished, fully finished, before May. So frame shopping will be what I'll be doing very soon. And then the last Sal or group is one for the 11th in cross stitch. It's fun, and it ties to your oldest whip, which is I'm doing to a UFO because my oldest whip will be Pinocchio. However, I have plans for Pinocchio. Pinocchio has priority. But the other one that I have not touched in the longest time is my twisted band sampler, guys. How is it that you can be in love with something and not pick that up? I don't know. I love that. I do know why I stopped on it, but it's so pretty. And it's the most pathetic start I've ever had on anything, because that's all I've got. But stitching on it has been really easy, because once you get the stitch down, it really does flow. But I want that's going to be stitched on at least for that day. But with Operation No UFO, I want to get something accomplished on this. Am I going to get it complete? Probably not. But I'm not going to sit there and just let it sit all year long and collect dust and be deserted. It's going to get worked on. That's the plan. But that's January. But I do have more plans, because after Pinocchio is done, which needs to be done by June, plus my kids are out of school, I might take a month or two break from doing a big project, because we might go more places, you know, maybe the zoo or the Children's Museum down in Indianapolis, or even Fort Wayne's got a zoo. It's a couple hours north. You know, we try to do one thing each summer. And I don't know what it's going to be. But then, you know, you have outdoor activities and parks and, yeah, don't know what I'll get done. So why start a big project if you're not going to be able to work that much on it? So I might give Thomas Kincaid a break for a while. But I plan on picking this up very shortly after, the Fantasia. And again, I'm picking up Fantasia next because I'm stitching the Thomas Kincaids in theatrical release order. And this came out November 13th, 1941 or 45. I do like this one. This one makes me a little bit more nervous because it is on 28 count. And it still does say it's a 12 by 16 or 16 by 12. But the stitches are going to be bigger. You go from an 18 count to 14 count. That's what makes me a little nervous. But it should still be very, 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 very pretty when it's done. But that's later on in the year. I'm also doing a magazine challenge for myself, or SAL, or projects, whatever you want to call it. Though I don't have them all nailed down which ones I'm going to do. There are two that I picked out that I can start right away. I don't have the thread set aside, but I know I've got enough to start it. One of them is going to be from just cross stitch February of 2016. And I'm sure most of you have seen it. It's the Cross Stitch Lover by Ursula Michael. And I think, you know, it'll be perfect. I might change the colors, because on these the colors aren't tied to any particular part of the design. But just slightly. I think that'd be fun to start, because it's also not a big stitch. I mean, I did another one similar to that and only took a week, was it? Maybe 2 weeks? No, it only took about a week to get that one done. So, yeah. Here's another one I want to start. From Cross Stitch, For the Love of Cross Stitch, Leisure Arts, from March of '97. And it's The Virtuous Woman from Proverbs 31. And I really like these. It's a little bit more folky slash, there's not really, well, yeah, it is kind of Amish, more Amish than I would normally go for, but I really love this, you know, all the scripture in there, because it does really, it's what I try to look up to of being a mom and a wife. I do. It's going to help guide you. Am I perfect at it? No. Sometimes we need to be reminded once in a while. So the other things I need to get done soon, before May, are some other teacher projects. So I have them scheduled for like a few days at a time between January and March, April to get them done. I've given this schoolhouse one 5 days in January and 5 days in February, because this has got a lot more going on. Try not to get all the glare. I only have like a little bit of, that frame done. I think I have the apples, parts of these people, and I think I have a good chunk of the schoolhouse done. But there's a lot of back stitching and just a lot of color change, which takes and counting. This one requires some heavy counting because you can't be off anywhere and fudge it. It will look off if you don't fix it. The next one would be Follow Your Art by Raise the Roof. I only have a little bit started on this, but it's very, very small. So I should be able to get that done. That's got to be done. Here is the other one. Follow your readers. No, leaders. Readers are leaders. Whew. Try that. This was a free pattern from Daily Cross Stitch, which I believe they've raised their prices. They were $1 now. I think they're $2. But hey, this is cute. It's worth $2. So those are all kind of charted a few days at a time from now until April. There was another one I stuck on in March because it needs to be worked on and needs to be done. It's my Power Rangers from Cloud's Factory. I don't want to pull up the chart right now. You know Cloud's Factory, you have an idea. There's one Power Ranger. Need to do 5 more. And my thread's all kind of chilling. It is for my brother-in-law. Not done when I was hoping to have it done, but he will appreciate it whenever it does get done. He doesn't know about it though. So with the idea I might take a break in the middle of summer. I'll still do the magazine, excuse me. I might not start these until later July, right before school starts. But these are for my sister. I want to start them. They will not be finished this year. And I do not want to count these as part of a UFO or no UFO rule. These might be an exemption. Only because they are specifically meant for one person, but not any... What's the word? Not at any real designated time. They're going to be done. I promised them they would be done, but I didn't promise exactly when they'll be done. Because there are 3 projects that I have to do for her. And one of them is this. I know I've showed it. It's a Busilla. Okay, it's called Once Upon a Time. A babysitter had stitched this when we were kids, and she treasured that, and she had it made into a pillow because it wasn't finished before she passed. And the pillow has been well loved by her family and has fallen apart. So I found that pattern and I plan on stitching it. But I mean, it's going to take time. It's 11 by 14. However, I'm looking at the colors and they're not that difficult, just a lot of counting. But I already have the threads sorted and ready to go. Another one for her would be the frame a name, because of her divorce that she has gone through. This has gotten lost or not given back to her. She's wanted it so much. So I'm restitching it for her. And I just need to put her son's name here and stitch that, which since my stitching ability has increased, I should be able to have it done in a week or so. And it's got the mat, the adorable little mat. It's embossed too, so you can't see, but he kind of, he's a little puffy. And the threads are all there ready to go. And another one is a Busilla kit that I can't show you. I don't have the actual image. But it's all like dark blues and reds, and I think a little bit of tan. But it's another baby record one because her other son, that one has not been given back to her as well. So I'm always stitching that. Those, like I said, may have the exemption to the rule of not being part of the No UFO challenge for me. Here's another possible start for January or any other time this year. Is Lizzie Kate's Time for God. I have wanted to do this for nearly 2 years now. I want to say Mandy O'Callahan's done it, and I know a few others have done it. But I just remember when she stitched it, and I was like, ugh. So I finally found the chart at a price that I wanted to pay. I have fabric, and I bought all the threads required. There's not many that I will buy hand-dyed floss for, especially weeks that cost $3 or more sometimes to get. But when for that, I really like the color scheme, and I didn't want to mess with it because I have stitched a Lizzie Kate with its DMC colors and not those, and it didn't turn out the way I was really liking it to. But anyways, sorry, I'm not tired. So another no UFO item would be, and I don't know where the front of this is. It's over there somewhere. It's this grandparent one. I started it in February for a challenge, and I've got a chunk done. I've kind of worked on a hand here and there, but there's some hearts that go around, and then there's things like joy and love. But I might change that to the grandchildren's name for my mother. She's got 7, so we have to see what fits where. There I go again. I think it's because it's cold in here. Sorry. And there goes my pile. It's like playing Jenga over here with these. This will probably be considered a UFO though until fall again, but I will try to at least unpick the parts that I want to. I'll quickly show it if you haven't seen it, and I'm sorry if I'm going over the same thing again. You can see it. This orange here doesn't look as bad on camera, but there's a difference between this orange and this orange. This one orange is so neon to me, at least next to that red, that it just doesn't complement it like I want it to. So I'm going to go through, unpick all those so I can go back in and stitch with a slightly different shade of orange, and the tone is just enough, and I can still see it there. Sorry. Sorry. Phone call I had to take. Wasn't aware. But, yeah. I don't want this to be a UFO, but I want to finish it. I wanted to finish it this year, but it didn't happen. Because look, it's such a pretty pumpkin. Okay, moving on. So, another no UFO rule is something I started in March. The twisted band, not twisted band. Save the stitches. I know I'm way behind on this, and that's fine. It's kind of one of those things, are you have the fear of missing out, or do you want to do it because you really love it? I want to do it because I really love it, because I've seen so many other people do it and do it in different ways that I fell in love with it more. And I'm doing it in purple, which is just kind of hanging here. Oh, and I even have a needle. There we go. So I did start this. I only worked on it for probably like 3 days. So I want to maybe get 6 blocks done. I wouldn't say 1 each month, because I know some people can get like 2 blocks done within a couple weeks. So maybe. But it's going to get worked on. And I haven't decided whether I'm going to frame it or make a wall hanging out of it or not. But there is a plan for it. So that leads me to 2 starts that I want to do. I'm crazy. I have this pile and I'm looking at it, and it's like this tall. And I want to add 2 starts to it. But I have everything. And I want to start it. And they're kind of big. One of them, again, all of you know, Box of Delights. I liked this because it was smaller than Save the Stitches. So I wanted to do this before I just Save the Stitches. Because, like they say, these little tiny chocolates are kind of like a little finish. And so you can do 3 or 4 at a time. Or, you know, do a whole row. Or you can do like as little as 4 of them. 9, 16, 25, or 36. Or you could probably do, you know, any number of them. But I want to do this because with Mo Sales floss, it would give me an opportunity to try out some of her hand-dyed floss, because I have a bunch of Mo's Sale. Sorry. Oh, I was like, where'd it go? I have it hidden back here. I've moved hers into one of these. And I'm not going to go through them all, but I have them grouped. If they have a theme, so like there's Wizard of Oz. These are superheroes. These are my randoms, I think. Things that don't have a grouping. I just liked either by the name or by the way the color was. Here are my, I'm yawning again. Sorry. My Disney, like, princess stuff. And then this is Doctor Who. I really want to use some of these. If I can stick to a theme for all, like for the entire box of delights, I would love that. But yeah, I want to do that. I want to start it and get a few done. Because it's also different than everything else. That's what I like about Save the Stitches. Just Liz Almond in general, is it has a black work, but then there's color in it. And it's a different change of pace than stitching Thomas Kincaid, Disney, you know, all the time. It gives me something to go, oh, okay, I don't have to think and just stitch. So, one more. Liz Almond's Pandora's Box. And this is, this is just the first, but I don't think I printed the first picture. But, oh, no, there it is. Still not a real good picture. Plus, the ink. No, the ink looks fine. I thought I printed it and the ink looked different. See, it looks like that. I've never done any pulled work before. So, that would be new to me, working with Pearl for that reason, which I have all ready to go. So, I mean, I have everything. I still might change one of the colors, but I haven't found anything I love more. But see, that's my plans. In 33 minutes. Yay! Those are my plans for 2017. There is room for more if I want to injure myself. But yeah, that's what I'm going to call this year now. No UFO. And I'm going to give myself 3 months. 3 months for no UFO. I know we usually say 6. But 3 months, I should pick that item back up and at least stitch on it for a day. But there's going to be a lot of souse. And that's the other thing. With Cross Stitch It's Fun and the Stitch What's school group that we're in, there's going to be a lot more challenges, which will either give me a reason to start something I really wanted. I'm so sorry. Or to pick up something that I haven't picked up in a while. Which is why Twisted Band is being picked up in January. and I'm excited. One whole day at least of stitching on Twisted Band should make for a lot of fun. If you have any questions, comments, whatever, put them below. Also, thanks for subscribing. Thanks for watching. Thanks for commenting if you do. I want to quickly tell you that, or remind you that I have a blog. It is nothing special. It is more for my benefit than anything. However, this last post has meant a lot to me. I have titled it Finding Floss Tube, and it's kind of what floss tube means to me. So please check it out. I will put a link to that below as well. Feel free to check out the earlier posts. I wanted to get a background of me going before I got into all of this. Because I might talk about my Outrageous October that I did. And this will be fun. I am trying to find a balance. I know we've all get into those moments, but I'm trying not to overwhelm myself, but balance YouTube with Facebook and blogging and Instagram. And since I don't work right now, this is kind of what I do for my free time. When the baby's sleeping, like now. Because otherwise I do have 4 children running around. Like Aussie Stitcher. And I don't know how you do. I couldn't keep a train of thought with all of them around. So kudos to you for real. I would love to show them in one of the videos, but I wouldn't be able to get any words out of my mouth because I'll be waiting for them to say something they didn't say. See, and there he's starting to get up. Excuse me. So please check out the blog. My Instagram name has changed. It's still the same account, but I changed the name. So if you're looking for me and you haven't subscribed, it's crafty.cara. I took off the numbers. It was kind of bugging me. And that's it. So I want to thank you for watching. Since Christmas is just a few days away. Oh my gosh. I have done some Christmas wrapping though. I'm not all done though. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Whatever you may celebrate. Happy New Year, because I probably will not be posting another video until after New Year. I do have tags. I do have tags that I have made, or not my tags, I have filmed that I will be posting soon if they're not too crazy. I did do them in the middle of the night while I was stitching. Sometimes we're a little loopy. But I might post those very, very soon. Haven't decided whether I'm going to post them in like a group or post them individually so they're not too long a piece. There was something else I thought. Instagram, Facebook, blog. No, that's it. You guys have a happy new year, happy stitching, and I will see all of you in the new year.